protection and correspondence there. Councillor Ullman. Second by Councillor Underwood. Question?
Yeah, I have a question. I thought it was very interesting to read through. It's my first report with regards to the results of the source water protection. And one of the conclusions that they've come to is that, as I see this report, is that there could be no major sewage piping anywhere within 300 meters of an intake, or a water intake, like a source water intake, right? Which actually could cause problems to blue water if they're trying to bring major force mains down from blue water to Grand Bend if they go past South Park Lake. It's right there.
The intake is about a mile out in the west.
Yes, but they might treat it as the entire facility because it's all that's all the water that people are going to be drinking in one way or another. It could be, who knows what could happen. If there was a major disaster, like a hurricane or a tornado of some sort, there could be some major problems, right? So I don't know if the Ministry of Environment could potentially restrict them from putting a major sewage line down from blue water.
That'll be something that Blue Water and South Huron will have to deal with. Our meeting for Middlesex and Western County, January 23rd. Snow date's the 27th in the Park Hill area. That's in this report for the public. This is just bringing stuff to the public presentation. Councillor Scott?
Kathy Brown presented this at the Osama Bay Conservation Authority meeting. And a lot of the drinking water source protection, there are a number of sinkholes in the area, not in our area. I think, yeah, but yeah, your old area, I think, kind of.
No, stop it there.
Okay. So there's a number of things like that they're doing reports on, and a variety of different things. And it's a group that is comprised of like many different levels of people. There's M&R on it, Maitland Valley's on it, Source Protection, St. Clair, I believe, was also on it. And it kind of goes across. So when she presented that, she was just presenting it as a as something that they're going to take back. This isn't really a draft plan, like they're finished with what they've done, but it's taking it to somewhere to have them come back and say, hey, you know, this fits, this fits, this fits, this doesn't fit. So it still has some more blending to go forward with it.
Councillor Ullman?
Yeah, it's kind of a high-level concept stage right now,
Yes.
and we have another opportunity in January, I believe.
But she would come here too if we wanted her to come.
So, I mean, it's certainly important that we can attend and get some information out of it.
Lambton Shore is really not that involved with the source water protection because we have no wellheads that we're dealing with our areas because of the rural water system. We have no municipal systems. I mean, this source water is dealing with municipal intake systems. There's a meeting. It's been a process for a number of years with source water. Probably going on 5 or 6 years now. Motion is to receive and file. All in favor of that? Carried. Protection news is 5.1. We'll include that in the motion with that all being accepted as one. Section of it. 5.2 is nominations. Final call for the GRA. Motion to receive and file. Second by Councillor McGuire. All in favor of that? Carried. 5.3 is a request for from Christ Church regarding some handicap parking places. I think we can refer this to staff to deal with the issue. Councillor Scott?
I was going to refer to staff to give to the accessibility committee as well, because they have a matrix that they're.
Yeah, I'll second for that. I'd like to speak.
Sure. Seconded by Councillor Underwood.
Yes, the Anglican Church just across the road pretty well from where I am. There's a hydrant on my corner. Some of the people are getting much older, and there's a few more people that need to have accessible spaces. There's no parking there right now, except for just a little bit farther back is some commercial spaces, so it shouldn't be a problem whatsoever.
They'd have something that they would just set out on Sunday.
I asked about the big rather not, because some of the people who are running the church are a bit dicky when it comes to doing that as well. So the best bet is just to have something for them. Dodgy.
But this can be referred, staff and the accessibility committee, under the guidelines, should be able to look at.
That would be great, if we at least get it done by next couple of months or so.
Okay, all in favor of that? Carried. Thank you. 5.4, this is correspondence from the Pinedale Re Christmas lights in Grand Bend, and go back out to Scott.
I'd like to see what it would cost to put some decorations up there. Could we refer to the budget and
Refer to the
see-
budget for
and have it come back and see?
Council Weinstein.
We've got 2 weeks to Christmas.
Well, not for this year, just.
No, but I went down and talked to the merchants this weekend, and they've been talking about it, and yeah. And we tried to borrow our Kona's extra satellites. They're using, but I guess what I question is that they talk about the lack of Christmas spirit. Now, if they added an S to that, that's certainly not true.
They run around.
In Grand Bend. But I'm just, yeah, and you know what, this again is a partnership thing. I don't think the municipality has to do everything. I think you've got a chamber there, you've got an Optimist Club, you've got Rotary. Maybe we make it a team approach. Councilor McGuire is our liaison on the chamber. I think we refer this to staff and talk about, let's see what we can do for next year. And
Staff and budget.
staff and budget and you know.
Councilor Owens?
I'll support the staff and the Council McGuire, because I agree wholeheartedly with the whole partnership thing. And I think we have to look at what happens elsewhere in the municipality. For example, the DIA enforce, one of the mandates of the DIA is to enhance the public facilities. The municipality does certain things to a certain standard, and then enhancements are beyond that. So certainly, Christmas decorations and banners and all of those kinds of things are part of what the DIA contributes, and, you know, they've applied for grants and done a variety of things. And also the partnership idea with all of our service clubs. We have marvelous service clubs in this whole municipality. The Spirit Club here, what you see outside, that's the Spirit Club. So I think, I mean, it's a good thing to raise here, but Councilor McGuire, I think, can certainly work with community groups, and there's no hardship raising some funds for some of these really good kinds of things in the community.
Dr. Murday?
Yes, I agree with everything that's been shared, and I was wondering whether we could possibly consider a phased-in approach, because I hear that those decorations are $800+ a piece, so they're very pricey. But I do think the Grand Bend needs something, and it does add to the Christmas spirit for sure.
Councilor Underwood?
No, actually, I've noticed there's a lack of decorations anyway when it comes to the municipal buildings. I mean, we could probably afford a little bit of tinsel, or have a holiday sign or something, right? So, you know, but then at the arenas, maybe a little tree. Maybe someone can donate one of their old ones not reason or something like that.
Councilor Scott?
I have no problems with the service club taking it on. I just figured that with our Parks and Recreation book that we had, it may have some ideas as to what's allowed to be there. So if we came back with some prices, then perhaps we could approach those service clubs.
Councilor McGuire?
When I got this letter, I talked to John Byrne, and also he got a hold of the prices. We found the anchors, they're enforced, but all the lights are rotted on, so for each anchor, Kevin estimates is 35 feet of light that has to go on. So whether it's worthwhile even to try to repair those or look at new lights, and also then we'd have to have a plan as to where we're going to put them. Is it going to be the 21 corridors? Is it going to be the street? Or both? So, but I look forward to working with the community on that.
It certainly would be nice if we could continue on to the blue light theme that has been put up at the Pinedale
Yeah.
Motor Inn. It looks fantastic, and it's been brought to our attention, it's here, we'll refer to staff, we'll work on something, we'll have something in place next year. Come on.
I'm breaching 7.4 here. Do I have 2/3 permission to do that?
So me,
Because you have the anchor. Just on this actually speaks to something else that has been brought to our attention. And I think it's only a phenomenon in Grand Bend, which Grand Bend is phenomenal. When some of the stores leave for the winter, they board up. And it's been brought to our attention that we maybe need a beautification strategy there, that it doesn't look like we're out of business in the winter. And so maybe part of the Christmas thing too is we have a bylaw that they have to paint that plywood and maybe blend it in with the building, so people
That
don't
has been
think.
talked about before,
Yeah.
and I'm sure
So maybe we
the
roll it into a beautification.
chamber is in on that. Okay.